Hello everyone, once again, this is Boy America. I want to make this third and final video dealing with the Rev Wright and racism and discrimination and injustice. And I want to make one comment, and I want to make it perfectly clear. I am not for sale, nor am I intimidated. Let me repeat that. I am not for sale, nor am I intimidated? And that response is to those of you that have offered me jobs and those of you that have threatened my life. Now, as far as the Reverend goes, he's done this country a great favor by exposing Barack Obama. And as far as racism goes in this country and slavery, first off, let's deal with slavery. Every nationality in this world at one point or another has been enslaved by some other culture. That's just the way life has evolved on this planet. The whites, in fact, were enslaved for over 2,000 years by the Romans. In this country alone, during the dark days of slavery, when the blacks were enslaved by the plantation masters, the whites, and this is not taught to you in your history books, because the white slave masters didn't want you to know. But the whites were also enslaved at that same time. Women had to sell or hand over their children, their babies, to plantation masters to whom they owed a great debt. Men were enslaved by these plantation owners because of the debts that they owed. So the slavery issue, as ugly as it is a fact, but is an era that has passed us. None of the slaves of yesterday are alive, and none of the slave owners and masters are alive. We're left to deal with the emotional impact and the humiliation that this dark era in our history has scarred us with. Now let's just take, for instance, if the country is run by whites and the government is run by whites and etc., etc. And the country, indeed, white America, owes black America an apology. Let's just take things one step at a time and let's get a common understanding here. If I do something that offends you, before you're going to be willing to forgive me and accept my apology, you first have to be confident and comfortable that I am sincere. Before I can be sincere, I need to come to terms with myself and forgive myself before I can even begin to think about coming to you and offering an apology and begging your forgiveness. So, as young as this country is, and the point in time that we're at, if it's an apology you want, it's something that's going to have to wait. Because even though our generation is not the responsible party for the slavery, we still feel an obligation of responsibility. And we are still trying to come to terms and forgive ourselves for the horrifying, painful behavior of our ancestors. And it's difficult to forgive ourselves for something that we didn't have a hand in, but we are struggling with it. And the vast majority of the black population in this country, I do believe, understands that and is very patient and tolerant. As far as the injustice and the discrimination goes, I've touched on that once before. Now, the Reverend Wright doesn't acknowledge all of the black individuals that are in our military and hold high ranks, that are in the corporate world and hold high positions and CEO positions, the small individual businesses that they run, the doctors and lawyers that they've become, the hard working class individual who goes out and does the 8-hour-a-day shift or more and brings home and provides for his family and his loved ones and his children. The Reverend doesn't acknowledge any of that. Instead, he focuses on one or two people, and he degrades them. And he fans the flame of pain that both whites and black struggle with on a daily basis. The truth of the matter is that we, the people of all nationalities, live together on a daily basis in this great country. And the fact of the matter is, as I stated before, in 1963, the whole of America, with the exception of the handful of those who were in control, descended all of America into the injustice and the discrimination. I have been threatened, and there's one threat that really kind of tickles me. The fact talking about tarring and feathering and the experiments and this, that, and the other. You know what? There has been, and there continues to be, great injustices all across the board, through all nationalities and ethnic groups and religious backgrounds and sexual preferences and genders. The fact that you were shot is all that needs to be said. The amount of damage the bullet did once it had hit its target is an irrelevant point and has no place to be discussed other than to flame and inflame a passion or an anger. The injustice was done. The injustice is being done. And it's because I am not a racist. It is because I am not a hater that I'm sitting in front of this camera, sometimes feeling quite ignorant and like a fool. But it is because of my conviction and my love and my humility and my compassion that I sit in front of this camera and try so desperately hard to talk to each and every one of you and to get you to open your eyes and to rid ourselves of the individuals who perpetrate this hate and anger and racism on us. And I am speaking directly about the Reverend Jeremiah Wright Jr., Louis Farrakhan, Oprah Winfrey, and Barack Obama. Barack Obama, this comment is directly to you. Your bid for the presidency is over, and you can thank your Reverend for exposing you. You sat for 20 plus years, and you supported him financially and morally. And no individual would spend 20 years supporting and financing and listening to such hatred unless you agreed with those beliefs and that logic. So it is without question that you, sir, are absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, a racist, dangerous individual. And once again, America, I deplore you, please, run these individuals out of our country. Run them off the lands of America. Rid them from our community. And a note to his congregation. What he has done to you, he has placed you in harm's way. Please take precaution and watch out for those racist pieces of trash that would like to bring harm to each and every one of you. Don't be paranoid, but do use caution. You are a beautiful people who are being misled. Please, let's look beyond the hatred and the anger and the hurt and really try to recover and be very careful, because I wish each and every one of you good health and a well future. But I do wish the Reverend and his conspirators be chased from our country's borders and banished for all time. This is Boy America. I love all of you. and I will talk to you again very soon.